Good morning. It's good to be with you on this Wednesday morning. It's good to continue in our time in Judges 6. Today we're going to look at our boy Gideon's continued journey, and we're going to see another famous story that you probably know. It's one that you've probably heard before, and one that you probably are quite familiar with. So we're going to see about the fleece today. So let's read Judges 6. We'll be reading Judges 6, verses 36 through 40. Then Gideon said to God, in order to see whether you will deliver Israel into my hand, as you have, you deliver Israel by my hand, as you have said, I'm going to lay a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there is dew on the fleece alone, and it's dry on all the ground, then I shall know that you will deliver Israel by my hand, as you have said. And it was so. When he rose the next morning, early the next morning, and squeezed the fleece, he wrung enough dew to fill a bowl of water. Then Gideon said to God, do not let your anger burn against me, lest you speak one more time. Let me speak one more time. Let me please make trial with the fleece once more. Let it be dry only on the fleece, and on the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night. It was dry on the fleece only, and all on the ground there was dew. So we see Gideon with the fleece. And guys, we talk about doubting Thomas. Who doubts more than our boy Gideon, huh? I mean, who is more willing to put God to the test than Gideon? Because we saw earlier in the first in the first when he met the angel of the Lord, and we saw the Lord show his power, verses 23 and 24 and 25. And then we see him pull down the altars. He follows through. And now we see him go to the Lord and say, listen, okay, if you're really going to do this, I'm letting this on here, and I want the ground to be dry and the fleece to be wet. And it says, this is dew. It said, he rose enough and squeezed the fleece enough dew from the fleece to fill a bowl of water. And he says, okay, Lord, don't get mad. How about one more time? Let's do it backwards. You make the ground wet and the fleece dry. And the Lord did it. I was telling the staff yesterday, I was praying. And I thought to myself as I was praying, I said, Lord, you must get frustrated with me sometimes. Because sometimes I feel like I get it right. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of times, most times I feel like I'm getting it wrong. I'm just not doing like I ought to or whatever. I just think, Lord, you gotta be frustrated with me. I know. And the Lord reminded me, we're doing Ephesians in our staff Bible study. And when you read Ephesians, you see that we're saved by grace through faithless. No one can boast in Ephesians chapter 2. And the Bible is so full of people that it's almost like God uses against their will sometimes. It is not that he's using Gideon against his will because Gideon wants to be used, but Gideon is always doubting and always afraid and always unsure and always uncertain. And if I was God, I think I'd want to smack him sometimes in love, of course, in love. But the Lord has to wonder how many times do I have to prove myself to you? How many times must I fulfill the sign that you have asked me to fulfill? And yet, what does the Lord seem to do? The Lord does it. You know, he he delivers. He makes the fleece wet enough dew to fill a bowl, and then he makes the fleece dry where everything else is wet. I'm just amazed when I read Judges. Frankly, friends, amazed when I read the Bible at the patience of God. The psalmist says that the Lord is long suffering. He is patient. He remembers his promise, remembers his covenant, remembers his word that he says. And that's such a blessing because if the Lord was not patient, if the Lord punished for every little thing, if the Lord was every time we made a mistake, every time we did the stuff that we shouldn't do or didn't do what we should do, imagine what would happen. But morning by morning, new mercies I see. Morning by morning, we get a chance to start over. I have I've shared it with you before. I think I have a little um, phrase that I have taped above where I pray in the mornings, and just says, begin again. Every day we begin again. Every day we start over again. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is a new day. We get a chance to follow God and serve God and be faithful. And God shows patience with us each morning, each day. And so now we don't want to test the patience of God, but we do need to be reminded that God is aware that we are just human, that we are frail and we are fearful. There's a great song by Rich Mullins entitled "We're Not as Strong as We Think We Are," and it says, "We are frail, we are fearfully and wonderfully made." And that's a great description of who we are. We are frail, yet we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And God is patient with us in ways that, frankly, we probably would not be patient with each other. Honestly, probably not as patient with ourselves, are we? Because God can see the long picture. God can see the big picture. He can see where the train's going. He can see where things are headed. And God is incredibly patient because he knows that our story is still, has more to come. That we have not finished our last breath. We have not gone to glory yet. We have not ascended into heaven. We have not finished the race. We're still running the race, aren't we, friends? We're still running the race. And so God still has work for us to do, meaning that God is also patient with us when we aren't quite who we should be. And I just want to encourage you today to be mindful of God's patience. Now, we don't want to test him. I do think of our boy Gideon. Over and over again, he tested God. Jesus said, "Don't put the Lord your God to the test." But we doubt, don't we? How many times have we seen God's goodness? Now, we talked about this before with Gideon. How many times have we seen God come through? How many times have we seen God pull it out? How many times has God left us destitute or left us in need or left us alone? How many times has God shown his mercy to us? How many times has God shown us his grace? Repeatedly. We probably have those stories, don't we? Every one of us today could probably tell a story of God's goodness, or of God's mercy, or of God's kindness, or of God's grace. We've all seen it. We've all experienced it. We all know it. The Lord shows kindness to us. The Lord shows patience to us. So let's not waste that patience. Let's begin again each day. Let's begin again each moment. Let's take each day as the gift that it is. And let's seek to live, we talked about Ephesians, let's seek to live lives worthy of the gospel. Let's seek to live lives that glorify God, that exemplify his grace, and that live in his kindness. Think about your kids. It's so frustrating sometimes to see your kids make the same mistakes in them. But what encourages you? When you see your kids grow, when you see your children learn something new, when you see your children become more and more who they're going to be. As parents, we have a sense of patience with our children, don't we? Or at least we should. It's hard sometimes, isn't it? But at least we should. With our with our grandchildren, we have a sense of patience. In our workplaces, we have a sense of patience. Because if we're being mindful, we know that there's always room to grow and always room to learn and always room to be more faithful. If we as humans can have that mindset of patience with others who are growing, how much more does God's patience come to us? He's patient with Gideon, even though he had no reason to be, even though I'm sure he's frustrated, even though I'm sure he wanted to give up on him sometimes. He's patient. God's going to be patient with you today. Don't take advantage of that patience, but understand that God sees that your story is not finished yet, that God is still at work in your story. And his patience is because he believes in what you and what I can be for his kingdom. So we thank the Lord for his patience today, that he hasn't given up on us yet, and he will not give up on us. Hey, thanks for being with us. Tomorrow we're going to read how Gideon gets his army. Another great story. Gideon's one of the best stories in the book of Judges in the Bible. So look forward to finishing some more of Gideon tomorrow. Have a great day. See you.